88.7 FM is here to make sense out of your world through our balanced news coverage from the nooks and crannies of Nigeria and beyond. Journey with us through the news we tracked for you at this moment on your shining supreme station.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's exactly 9 a.m. Good morning, and thank you for joining us in today's edition of the News Punch, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. This is where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. My name is Bisola, Oduwole, Suleiman, and here are the stories making the waves across the world. In Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari has barred government officials from using private emails for official purposes. The president stated this on Thursday at the State House in Abuja when he unveiled and launched two new policies developed by the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, according to a statement by the presidential spokesman Femi Adesina. While noting that the national policy on Nigerian government second-level domains is a welcome step in the right direction, he directed that all government officials should refrain from using private emails for official purposes, and federal public institutions, FPIs, must migrate their websites to the relevant government domains. Meanwhile, in politics, ahead of the 2023 general elections, Justice Inyang Ekwa of the Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to accept the nominations of candidates of the Labour Party, LP, in 24 states of the Federation. The court ordered that the electoral body must accept the list of candidates either manually or through its electronic nomination portal. Delivering judgment, Justice Ekwa held that INEC violated sections 31, 33 and 36 of the Electoral Act 2022 in rejecting the Labour Party candidates in the affected states on the grounds of non-functional of its nomination portal. And on the foreign scene, President Vladimir Putin yesterday vowed a decisive response to any country threatening Russia and lashed out against Germany for promising tanks for Kyiv. His threats came after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned that the Kremlin was consolidating its forces for a fresh offensive. Ukraine this month secured promises from the West for delivering of modern battle tanks to fight Russian forces, and Kyiv is now asking for long-range missile and fighter jets. And in the world of sports, Black Stars of Ghana skipper Andre Ayew is now teammate with Super Eagles forwards Taiwo Awoniyi and Emmanuel Dennis after joining Nottingham Forest on a free transfer. Forest confirmed Ayew signing yesterday night via their website. The forward joins on a free transfer following his recent departure from Al Sadd and has signed a deal until the end of the season. And that's all we have for you on this morning's edition of the News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we take a look at the analysis of some of the major stories making the rounds. Just stay with us. We will be right back.
From news to sports, current affairs to entertainment, beautiful music, amazing programs, we got you all covered at Diamond 88.7 FM.
This is our promise. We made up our minds to do something new, something different, do more, do the impossible, do better, do big, do good, do it again and again and again. Do what no one else has done with radio. This is our promise at Diamond FM. Diamond 88.7 FM, shining supreme.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, they want to kill us. Why not kill us for Nigeria? Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can you run Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
7 FM Ilorin. Thank God it's Friday. It's a beautiful Friday morning right here in the city of Ilorin, and this is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we take a look at the analysis of some of the major stories making the rounds. We'll be having conversations around 3 topics this morning, and when we treat each topic, we open up the phone lines and our social media platforms so you can contribute to each of the topics individually. 091-3655-6864. That is the WhatsApp number, and you can watch us live on Facebook at Diamond 87 FM, YouTube Diamond FM Ilorin. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman. I'm your host on this morning's edition of the Diamond Breakfast Show, and to do the analysis with me this morning, I have Dr. Hafiz Tosin Suleiman, a public affairs analyst and a social commentator. A very good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Yes,
it's so nice to have you in the studio.
The pleasure is all mine.
All right. This morning we'll be taking a look at a couple of stories. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as we take you around issues affecting us as a people in Nigeria. And the first story, the federal government yesterday said the harsh realities faced by Nigerians due to the introduction of the new Naira note by the Central Bank of Nigeria is a necessary price for the long-term health of the economy. According to Ahmed, the current hardships, though temporary, are required to stifle corruption and gradually transition into a cashless economy. She insisted that with over 75% of the circulating 2.7 trillion naira already in the banks, the policy has yielded positive results. The people ought not to suffer from it. The policy has created lots of issues for Nigerians. Many believe this is targeted at politicians, and the people should not be made to suffer from it. The presidential candidate of the NNPP, Rabiu Kwakwanso, even said the policy will not have any effect on the politicians who already have banks or stakes in the banks. Let's hear what Rabiu Kwakwanso had to say, then we'll be back to talk about this.
I can tell you from our own investigation, what they are saying, government is saying, it has to do with people who will want to take too much money, leaders in politics and so on. They don't know that those who are contesting, especially presidential, and by extension, all those in their parties are owners of the banks. And not only that, people very close to them are having banks everywhere, and so on and so forth. So they will lose nothing because, and they have governors. PDP has governors, APC has governors. Governors, I'm sure by now they would have collected so much money. Up till now, there are many states, especially in northern Nigeria, where local governments had no single bank. And in some areas, even the local government headquarters, well over 100 kilometers from the local government headquarters. And it becomes extremely difficult for them to take their money. We are not talking of big businessmen. We are talking of people who are petty traders, capital of 5,000, some even less. Now, if you ask them to go and give them 3 months, even the information before it reaches them, very difficult.
That was the presidential candidate of the NNPP, Rabiu Kwakwanso, speaking there. However, Femi Fani-Kayode of the APC reacted to the abuse of power being displayed by the CBN governor and emphasized that the policy is more political than economic. Let's also hear from Femi Fani-Kayode.
Nigerians are suffering. They're suffering today, and they will continue to suffer throughout this month. And I say it again, mark my words, it will be very difficult for people to get new notes until after the election because there's a hidden agenda as far as I'm concerned. They'll tell you, oh, the commercial banks are not releasing notes. It's not it's a lie. The truth of the matter is that they will not release those notes to the commercial banks because there's a hidden agenda. And there's so much more to this. That's just one front. There are other fronts in which they're fighting democracy and fighting us all. And as far as I'm concerned, this is not for any political party. It is simply for those that are interested in having an ING in this country and pushing us all to one side. And that, I think, is the greater enemy. I have never known of a governor of central bank that will be outside the country, challenge the security agencies, come back, ready to be arrested, and he's being guarded by soldiers. Who posted the soldiers there, and how come he has that kind of power? I have never known a governor of central bank who was summoned to come to the House of Reps how many times until the time, and he refused to go until the time they threatened him with arrest, and he quickly went there and made a few concessions and said, okay, I'll postpone for a few days, I'll postpone to the 17th. Even with that postponement, it doesn't mean anything.
All right, that was Femi Fani Kayode speaking there. Now, let's quickly get into the conversation this morning. Let's first talk about the experiences that people have had from the experience of the last 2 months. So what is your assessment of this whole situation?
Thank you very much. I want to sincerely greet our listener at home. A very good morning to them. And then I wish them a lot of strength to withstand what is happening in our country. You see, there is no average person on the street that is not directly or indirectly feeling what is happening. You know, on my way here this morning, I took the popular Folawiyo Unity Road, and at every bank, you can see how many people are queuing in front of banks, and even closer, there's a popular filling station close by here, and you can see the extent of the queue. I was planning to probably even join the queue, but after assessing the finish point of the queue, I have to conclude that is either I resorted to the normal expensive, pump price, if I am not ready to waste a lot of productive time on the queue. The queue is too long, and there is no certainty that you are even going to get the fuel at the end of the day. Now, the question is about the hardship the people are feeling. There is no amount of sugarcoating that can expressively express the kind of hardship we as Nigerians are facing right now. It's as if there is, the K and bow leg at when a person has both K and bow leg together, you can't get the money and you can't even move freely. So the hardship is even unspeakable. But from what we have listened to, if I may continue, starting from the minister comments, you see, it is just that it is unbelievable. Yes, we know that when policies are made and roads are like this, we see 1 or 2 cases of hardship that are not supposed to be as hard as this and reoccurring as this. If that was the case, probably we have shortage of cash for a day, some hours, minutes, 2 days, at most a week. When you come out and you tell us that, oh, you feel our pains, we understand what you are saying. But this is not the time to feel our pain. We have been feeling this pain for God knows how long. The fuel scarcity, you see, people are even having a slogan on the road, on the street, asking you. We are no longer asking what is the dollar to naira exchange rate. We are not asking of what is the naira to naira exchange rate. Because when the money you have at bank is different from the money you can convert to cash. If you have 5,000 naira in the bank, by the time you convert it to cash, you may be left with 4,000 something, or even 4,000 naira. So that is to portray the level of hardship we are currently facing in this country.
All right, Dr. Suleiman. Now, talking about this, the words of the Minister of Finance and the hardship that people are going through, is this sacrifice a necessary one owing to the issues already on ground? Is this, she's saying that it is for the health of the economy to ensure that inflation goes down and all that. But is this sacrifice necessary? Look at the hardship, the untold hardship that people are going through here and there. Is this necessary, especially at this point in time?
It should. The word emphasis on should, but I will not want to totally agree. If you look at the policy, even up to right now, I am a strong supporter of the policy. Very lovely. The intention is good. The result, the expected results, brilliant. But that is not what we are seeing now. Just like all other policies, I will just pick one: the closure of our borders, with the intention that it will bring out, if not all commodity, at least improve our local production of rice and reduce the price. Up until now, we are still suffering for that border closure. That policy was supposed to be very brilliant. Honestly, if you look at the paperwork, it should be very, very good. Don't import rice. Allow local marketers to produce rice so that the price of rice naturally die down, and everybody will be able to buy the rice. Now, those who relied on buying those local rice, it's not even reachable. You understand? It's not reachable, affordable to them. And now the foreign rice that we try to close the border to, the border was closed on paper, but we still see foreign rice more than local rice everywhere. So it now resorted to even the hike in price, and which we are still feeling up until now, even when the border is now opened. That is a policy. Now, you ask a question if it's a necessary sacrifice.
Yes.
It should be. I will still use the word it should be, but evidences have shown that it is not. This is not the kind of sacrifice. This is an avoidable one. If I am sure that eventually it will lead, though I must be frank and be honest that we are seeing some evidences, you understand, isolated cases of the results of the policy. But at long run, what we are suffering from, what we are encountering now, it should not be. How? If this policy has been implemented properly, just like every other brilliant policies we used to have, it will have been lovely. We started rolling. The policy says the new naira note will enter into circulation since when? December, if I'm not mistaken, December 15 or so. At that point, these new notes are not even on our what? They are not even dispensing in our various ATM machines
and banks.
I will come to bank. Please remind me. The issue of counter is another case entirely. But we are emphasizing on what? Our ATM. We should be able to get this cash from there. But then, all through December, what we are still having, what is still being dispensed to us, is still the old naira note.
Old naira notes were supposed to return to the bank.
Thank you. It should not even make an exit again. It should go in and never comes out. But that was not the case. It persists up to even the January and even up to 2-3 days before the deadline. And that was when the problem started. Because at that point, truly, old naira notes stopped coming out. And people even started, the local sellers stopped collecting the old naira note. Now, the problem now is that the cash, the new naira note, is not even coming out, which led to scarcity. The old is going in, or even the ones that are not in yet, are not acceptable anymore.
All right, Dr. Suleiman, let me quickly cut you there. Now, talking about this new notes, this redesigned notes not coming out, we have seen videos, we have seen cases of people on social media who get this money and spend them in bulk. So how did these people get it when a layman on the streets cannot even get a 2,000 naira of this new notes? We have people who spend this cash in huge amounts, in large sums, in bulk sums. How did they get it? What is the difference between them and the local man on the street? Why is it hard for somebody like me, somebody like you, to get this money?
That is what I mean by it's not coming out. And that was why earlier I said collecting the money over the counter. Now, thank you for asking this question. The answer is simple. In this country, it should never be, nobody should be under the pretense that we are equal. Evidences and other circumstances have shown that we are not by any means equal. And just like you said during the first clip you played, where you notice that why some of us are struggling to get this naira note, even those we are trying to, the suspected cases, those we are trying to bring to book, are already finding means of getting this naira note. There are evidences that are sabotage, you understand, that shows that some people are even making themselves rich in this circumstance by even trying to and deliver these notes, while others are struggling to get it. Why some people are giving just 2,000 naira, some are getting this money in bulk. That was a circulation on the social media of a particular video, like you mentioned, of somebody dispensing and flexing muscle. And because of this policy, like I said, it's yielding some benefit. Because of this policy, the CBN, as reported, was able to track the money through the serial number. The ATM you are loading is a computer, is automated. So we know the money is dispensing, and we know the account. And it was revealed to us that an individual using several banks' accounts, traceable because of the use of BVN, was identified to have withdrawn those money in different, I can't remember the actual figure. You understand? The 700, 800, 500, and because of this, they trade this to a particular bank, which I don't want to mention. And the bank has been reported to have been sanctioned for allowing such to happen.
Under their watch.
You understand what I'm saying now? And the individual in question is even at large, which shows that because of this policy, it is not possible that even when I give you, if I give you money now, it is trackable. Because via the serial number, the note and everything, we can track it back to the ATM machine that dispenses it, track it back to the account, to the BVN, to the individual, the time and the location.
All right.
So it shows that if this policy was actually implemented the way it ought to be, you understand, the benefit is endless. That is one. Two, this policy also said that the highest you can withdraw in a day should be 20,000 or so.
Yeah.
So the question is, how are people getting this huge amount? Because if you are even withdrawing over a week, there's limit to what you can withdraw. With the estimator of the video, you will notice that the person will have spent millions, and to withdraw millions, 100,000 naira or so per week, to take you an average of months. So if you started withdrawing based on the policy, from the implementation of policy, by now you should not even have withdrawn up to 1 million naira. So it shows that we have different assets, and like the presidential candidate of NPP, the way he has, just like he mentioned, people have different access to bank, and this is just simple. The problem we are facing in this country is that this corruption we are talking about, that we have failed to realize, it's as if it is as old as Nigeria itself. It's as if it has become, you cannot separate it, because all these banks you are saying now, these people did not get this bank, they did not get this job by merit. Some of them got this job. Some, I'm not saying all. Some got this job because somebody knows somebody.
Someone.
And the fact is, you have to keep paying tribute back to the person. And you say that even is insinuation that because of this new change of naira, you understand, and people who are willing, because of some people's attitude of ripping Nigeria out by any means necessary, they have used this system to enrich and further enrich themselves.
All right, Dr. Suleiman, I can see that you're really, really passionate about this particular issue. Now, let's still talk about Kwakwanto, that is the NNPP presidential candidate. He reiterated that some people in different parts of the country did not even get information on the latest development. There are several Nigerians who have businesses and choose not to use banks, such as herders and people alike. Coming up with this policy without proper sensitization looks to be a real issue here. Do we have a population that gets information and reacts to it immediately? That is one. Then what should have been the structure from the start to achieve this particular policy?
Thank you very much. I will not want to totally agree with the candidate of NPP. And talking about my passion, how passionate I was. You see, it depends on how you are feeling this. You see, for example, I have a 5,000 naira. And my wife,
have any cash.
You understand? No, not the cash in my account.
Okay, all
and
right.
my wife is asking me, please get us palm oil. You understand? And I get into a popular market in Lorry and I want to buy. I move from on. It's as if I approach up to 70% of the people selling and trying just to get a 1,000 and I could not until I have to strike a deal because of somebody I know call, please help me out. So that shows that the people are not even on board with the policy.
Right.
Assuming we are, we should not even feel the need to have cash. I want to buy market, I transfer, I move. The network is good, the alert is,
But how many people have bank accounts? How many people transact
that is where
business with
I'm
banks?
going. You see, the policy of going cashless is not something that just started today. You understand? Like you mentioned, how when people even hear this information, how responsive are we to information? You understand? It's some people are just, I don't know, it's as if the way we process information is different. Some people still have the belief that taking money to bank, you understand, they are not even on board with it. Some don't even have an account, you understand? So, and we are living in 21st century. And these people are one of the people that are also clamoring that Nigeria needs to be good. And let me say this, and you understand, for us to be good, we cannot be doing the things in the old way and expect a new result. It's not possible. Whether we like it or not, the best thing we can do now is to put money in circulation. We are not talking about the errand of gold, the errand of gold or something. If you have some cash with you, by holding that cash, by not spending it, you are putting the economy into problem. The beauty of this economy is money circulation, money moving hands. And how can we achieve that? By making sure that some of this money, instead of you keeping it with you, let us have it, you have it online and keep the money with the bank. So that the bank will have enough financial plan to what? Probably borrow or dispense to other people, and the money keeps moving like that. Now, coming about people getting this information, the fact is, like you mentioned, we have people who are in local government, in even outlets, hamlets, you understand, villages, that they don't even see banks in years. You understand? So effort should have been made to reach out to these people. But when it comes to information, I still want to believe that in the north, northern people who are known for their attitude of listening to radio. I am in the north, yes. This is not central. I'm saying the capital. But I want to tell you that because of the amount of times I listen to radio, driving and all sorts, and how we discuss this issue on the radio, I want to believe that if you listen to radio, hardly will you say you are not hearing about what? New Naira design. However, I cannot claim that the information reach everybody.
Everyone, okay.
But that should have been the beauty, the work of the National Orientation Agency, the CBN, and other people to make sure that this information reach the people. Now, if money is actually in circulation, we don't really even need to reach those people in those areas, as long as they are not stocking money elsewhere. Are they not buying and selling? So if you buy goods and you have a whole currency, by the time you go ahead to buy your own goods or spend it, or you want to sell, the money that should come back to you naturally should be what? The new currency. So it's supposed to be a perfect system of exchange, but because of the fact that we have some people somewhere, I am not saying it's not the issue of party now. It's not the issue of party. It's not the issue of party, it's not the issue of political class, but I'm talking about some people who are deliberately benefiting from all these wahala. So if I can put it like that, it's not the issue of fuel also. The MNPC will tell you they have enough fuel. I was listening to news and I was hearing about 60 millions of liters, circulated every day. And you now wonder,
what is the problem?
The problem is very simple. I was in the car and I was with some friends. I was saying them, see, you don't need to look for Nigeria problem. Look at this filling station that they were not selling fuel before now. 3 months, 6 months, you will see the filling station is what? Under lock and key. But immediately there is fuel scarcity. Once I want to know there is fuel scarcity, I will start looking at those people that are not selling fuel before. You understand? It's as if they have those filling stations and they are waiting for fuel to be expensive. And those people who are major marketers who have been selling fuel, you now notice that they are the ones that are no longer selling it. Why? Maybe they don't have the power, or even it can even be as low as even the head of that station, who may not have the power to increase the purpose because it will be reported. So it's better not to sell it, or sell it to those that will sell it at higher rate. So you can see the level of the corruption. It's not just about the government.
It also has a lot to do with the people.
Us. It has to do with us, and this is the problem. The person who is trying to hoard cash, we forget that is the one causing the problem. And we go to a filling station and also be complaining and be abusing the person selling fuel. The person who has also helped in making sure that fuel is very scarce, we will also forget that by the time we reach another sector, maybe government parasita, and he's not getting the service as at when due, he will also be causing. Not forgetting that he has also initiated this thing somewhere. And even you that you know that your brother, your sister is not qualified, and not because he's my person. You work it out and he got the job before any other person. You are also trying to what? Complain for car scarcity, fuel scarcity, and the likes.
And a lot of issues that we have as Nigerians. All right, Dr. Suleiman, we have a lot to talk about this morning, but we need to go on the short time out. When we come back, we will be taking the issues. Don't forget you can join in the conversation via WhatsApp 091 36556864. Send us a message on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM and YouTube Diamond FM Ilorin. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Everyone loves an upgrade, but with DSTV, you get boosted to a whole new level. Upgrade to more football and get boosted to the most heart-racing sports moments. Upgrade to your favorite shows and get boosted to emotions like never before. Upgrade to the best action movies and get boosted to high-octane scenes that make you shout, woo!
Upgrade your DSTV package and DSTV will boost you to the next higher package. Offer valid from January 25th to March 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Diamond 88.7 FM, shining supreme.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin. We've been having a very interesting conversation, and it is now time to open up the phone lines to get your contribution on the first issue discussed this morning. You can call us on 091 3655 6952 or send us a message via WhatsApp 091 3655 6864. We're also getting your comments on Facebook as well. Keep them coming in. 091 3655 6952. That is the number to call. This one here says, good morning, presenter and the guest. What baffled me is the majority of our policies works only on paper but never come to reality. I think bank managers should be questioned on what Nigerians are facing now. It's a good policy if it is properly implemented. JC Obasun from Offa. 091 3655 6952. Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, do call us back. 091 3655 6952. That is the number to call. Move away from your radio set when you do call in and tell us your name and where you're calling from. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Isa from Temidire.
All right, Mr. Isa, good to have you on the show. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to grade the doctor on the state there.
All right.
I would like to say that. Like I rightly said, we can't be doing the same thing and the same year and expect different results. Nigerians must upgrade. If we are saying that there are people in the village, let's encourage our banks to go there now. I think that the answer will also encourage our banks to go interior. We can't remain the same. We can't remain the same spot. I know that no matter, I support what the doctor is saying. Things are changing. The world is changing. We must also change with the world. The idea of cashless policy must stay. I love it. This money, I transfer money to somebody, not start from my seat. So that's what they are saying. So I don't think it is meant to inflict an injury, but it is the way we are seeing it.
All
but
right.
as time goes on, we get used to it.
All right, Mr. Isa, thank you so much for that contribution. 091 3655 6952. Hello, good morning. All right, keep the calls coming in. 091 3655 6952. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm Suleiman calling from Akajola.
All right, good to have you on the show. Go ahead, please.
I really appreciate analysts on the radio.
Okay.
And God bless Alberta. And God bless Diamond.
Diamond, all right.
The government will be doing down. Who owns every industry in this country? You know the government. The government has imposed so many risks on the populace. See what our people are running about, even the issue of petrol. Those who have not been selling for are now selling. And we have millions of something was released. Where does it go? Even the major marketers, you don't see them selling, except for maybe what you call it, call the name.
All right.
You know, the only one selling. All of that, they sell at a exorbitant price. But who is the major? It's the government. There has to be a policy. Take an example. If it were to be doing the acknowledging, you will have massacred so many of these petroleum dealers. I think most of these are perpetuating out on the bandits, the holding 10 millions of new naira notes, whereas the masses are even not. Some are even saying it. The say this is a new naira note.
All right.
But shine your eyes for all these kind of things.
All right.
These kind of people, please.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. Kolade Anyide says, suffering is a greater evil in a land generously blessed by God. Our leaders enjoy inflicting pains on citizens. Primary purpose of government is the welfare of the citizens. Ordinary citizens are going through avoidable stress. No access to food, education, healthcare, fuel, electricity, security, and now scarcity of new currency. Access means no citizen should spend more than 25% of his or her income on food, healthcare, and education. All right, thank you so much, Kolade Anyide, for that. Let's quickly move on. All right, we lost that call. Let's move on to the second issue for today. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC Limited, has struck a $741 million deal with Daewoo Engineering and Construction Company to rehabilitate an oil refinery in Kaduna State. According to Bloomberg, NNPC Limited signed the maintenance service contract with the South Korean engineering firm at a ceremony held yesterday. Despite the fact that lots of positive results are coming on refineries, both from the public and private sectors, the government maintained that it will remove the costly subsidy in June, even though a new administration will be in office by then, following elections scheduled to hold later this month. Now, let me first get your reaction on the new contract signed between Daewoo and NNPC Limited.
Well, I will just start by saying, honestly, it's just, if I'm allowed to use the word, a street word, so to say, is sounding more like a story for the gods.
Why do you say that?
Because one wants to ask, what does it cost to have a refinery in Nigeria? There have been several efforts. We have had issues of millions, billions, running to trillions of nairas spent on getting our refinery, and it has. It's as if, it's not even as if, it is obvious. We know that as long as you have subsidy, you understand, some people are richly benefiting from it, and these people have seen it as a pot of soup. Immediately we have refineries that are working. It's as if you are telling the person to stop eating, to stop living lavishly. You understand? Now, when you tell somebody to do that, Yoruba will say onofun, onorun. It's as if you want to kill the person. And the fact is, if the person, you understand, in coma now, did not die, we will not benefit because we are not enjoying what is happening. You understand? So the person is seen is either himself or herself or themselves against all of us. You understand? So, and these people, they are people who are well rooted. I used to say this, they are rooted, connected. They are people that we may know or we may not know, but they are benefiting from this. So what I will appreciate, or that will convince me that this may even yield any resemblance of a positive result, if I am seeing in specific terms, measures that will be put in place. Don't tell me that in 2024, tell me that by February this will be done.
Something will happen.
By March we'll do this. By the end of July this will be achieved. So that it, and I will now monitor you.
So there should be measurable timelines.
Thank you. Well, expressively, you understand, stated guidelines of when and what will be achieved. So that it will be anticipating enough for me to want to think and imagine the outcome. But as it sounds and as it stands now, it's not different from every other thing I personally have heard from the past. As far as I'm concerned, reading that kind of a news on the notion of the course of the fact that I would love to see what is in detail. And when reading the news, it's just the repeatance of English and English. These people will do this, will do that, but they are not telling us what is this company going to do differently. Now we know that some people are not ready you understand, to allow the refineries to work. Because if you look at our budget, certain amount of cash has, allocated for even maintenance of refineries in Nigeria. The refineries are not producing. So what are we maintaining? Now, what you are going to tell me is that if this did not work, I would love you tell me who I'm going to hold accountable and what will happen to the person. So these people are the committee. This is the complaint. They have agreed that by this year, if you give them this money, this thing will happen. Will halfway. Now you now continue. That should be even the nature of our contract in Nigeria. Right. If you want to sponsor any policy, tell us what will happen if the policy did not work. And don't come and tell us the problem. We already know the problem. We know the problem now is that people who are benefiting from subsidy are benefiting from, not even subsidy now, benefiting from the importation of oil. You understand? We not want this to work.
All right.
Now, what are the measures you are going to put in place against these people?
To ensure that it works. Now, let's talk about the benefits of having functional refineries in Nigeria. Then looking at that, when and if, let's be hopeful now, when these refineries start to work, everything looks like it will be 100% domestic production. We'll be processing it here in Nigeria. We'll be getting the supply. Is it then necessary to remove the fuel subsidy? The question is in two parts. Functions, benefits of having functional refineries. Then, is it also necessary when these refineries start to work? Is it necessary for us to still remove fuel subsidy since everything we have will be produced, or most of the things, the fuel that we have in Nigeria will be produced in Nigeria? That is when the refineries work.
I will start by putting this analogy, you understand? You know, the way God has made us, even when a human being is suffering for 20 years, immediately you taste ease. You seem to forget all the suffering. If we have a functioning, you understand? You know, functioning is not, if you have a functioning and an effective here means that they are refining our crude oil and the supply is reaching us. Not that we now have
enough supply.
Thank you. We now have other people who are trying deliberately, to hoard it and make sure that it is what. If we can have a smooth, automated, functioning and effective refining of fuel in Nigeria that will reach us, it will be as if we'll be living in paradise. That is my belief.
All right.
Because we don't even have to subsidize. To answer your second question, we are the one. You understand? We have the fuel. You understand? We get the fuel. We are refining the fuel. The only thing we will have to be paying for is the cost of drilling and getting the fuel, the cost of refining, and even little profit. So as we as Nigerians should have something. So which means I am the one trying to subsidize things in the first instance, and I'm the one producing it.
No.
So why do I have to subsidize it? The least I could do is just remove my gain from it. And if I should subsidize it, then it means we'll even be getting fuel for free. So that is, in fact, the issue of removing subsidy today, we are removing it by June. The only effective solution is having a functioning refinery. If we can have that before June, we will not even know that fuel has been what? The subsidy has been removed. Okay. Because remember, we were told once time that it has been removed. Later we heard that, okay, there is a rise in dollar. You understand? Now, the dollar factor will not even be there. It will all be local and it will all be consumed. And maybe at that point, we even have time, you understand, energy and even resources to export refined crude oil.
All right, outside the country. All right, now still talking about oil, and let's quickly take a look at the third story before we start to take reactions. Amnesty International yesterday threw its weight behind 2 Niger Delta communities for instituting a suit against Shell over oil spills. More than 13,500 residents of Ogale and Bile communities, which have been devastated by oil spills, have filed claims against Shell at the High Court in London. They asked that the company clean up oil spills, which they say have wrecked their livelihoods, poisoned their wells, and polluted their land and water, which means they can no longer farm or fish in their community. A move Amnesty International has backed 100%. Now, this is an issue between communities versus Shell Company. This is not the first clash between the company and some communities in the southeast and the south-south. Will an MOU help both understand certain limitations? between both parties? If there's an MOU.
Let's try to break this down.
Okay.
When we say community, who are we referring to? Are we saying the community leaders or the common man on the street? You understand? With my understanding, the community leaders cannot, you understand, this complaint, even in their attempts, I'm not talking about a particular complaint now, but complaints in their attempts try to use what we call divide and conquer. You understand? Look for few community leaders, enrich them so as to silence other people. If that an MOU is signed now, with who? Is it with the leader or the community?
But the leaders are a representative of their communities.
Well, if they are true representative of community, we'll have no problem. You understand? We have no problem. Do you know how many millions and billions of naira is even pumped, you understand, into Niger Delta, into some communities, and still we are not feeling the effect? At a particular time, you understand, there was a case against NDDC, Niger Delta Commission. We don't even know what happened even up to now. You see fine pictures of projects, and in reality in the community there is no project on ground. You understand? Now if it is to the community, you understand, and not just to the leaders, it will be beautiful. And I want to believe that it's even one of the responsibility of complaints, like you have mentioned, to make sure that the lives of their host, you understand, is not in jeopardy. Not only that, it's even funny to see that right now, during this time in election time, we are not talking about issues we have been talking before. And it baffles me a lot. Look at all the candidates. Hardly will anybody be talking about true federalism. These are the issues we have been talking. The solution of power. We have been talking about this. Bring power back to the state and the community. Imagine if it's the community that is us to the complaint we are talking about. We are not going to be talking about the community not surviving. They should be even be living in wealth. Because directly they are feeling, you understand, they don't have to go to farm again. Because all these things have been, these are the issues we are talking about. Right. We are talking about policing, community policing, and we are not discussing all these things again. What we are hearing is, if I get here, I will do this. When I was this, I am that. You understand? Right. And that is not practicable.
Dr. Suleiman, let's quickly hold that thought. There's still a lot to talk about on this issue, but we have to go on a short timeout. Do stay with us. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show.
ẹdúró náà baálé mi ṣébi tẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ mi gbàǹjo òní tá à ń já kòtò tá à ń já gegele náà kọ́ yìí kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́.
Kwara ti yàtọ̀ ní. láyé ìṣèjọba gómìnà Abdulrahman Abdulrazak àkàìmọye iṣẹ́ ojú ọ̀nà ni wọ́n ti gùn lé. kó lè bá àmúlí lọ bíbọ̀ ọkọ̀ àtàwọn èrò tó ń kọjá lójú pópó lọ nírọ̀rùn. iṣẹ́ lọ lọ́wọ́ lórí General Túndé Ìdíàgbọ̀n flyover ní táǹkẹ̀. títí oníbejì láti Yẹ́bùmọ́ roundabout lọ dádẹ́ta tó fi dọ́lọ́jẹ̀. táǹkẹ̀ òkè odò ring road ń kọ́. tó fi máa túnṣe Odiyidi road àti Abdulaziz Ata road nílọrin. tiléṣà bàrùbá wọ gbànàrà níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Bàrùtín kìlómítà 23 ni. tó fi mọ́ o sí òbò Ayégúnlẹ̀ road lẹ́kìtì. tilérè district nífẹ̀ẹ́ lódùn Coca-Cola Palace road níjẹ̀bà. àwọn ọ̀nà oníwòrò síwòrò interlocking lọ bàbẹ̀sùá. ọ̀nà tó gbóndóròkọ amáyọ bypass. olómù road lómù àrán Kamal district nílọrin west. Emir Palace road ní Yashikira àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ mélòó la fẹ́ kà.
baálé mi tó bá òun ni tó bá wá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ Malam Abdulrahman yíyẹ ní gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni dìbò fún Malam Abdulrahman Abdulrazak gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APC Progress APC máa ṣe lọ.
All right, welcome back from that short time out. You're still tuned in and listening to the Diamond Breakfast Show. Before we went on the break, we were talking about the clash between Shell and communities in the southeast and the south-south. Now, let's quickly move on to the government. Where exactly can we fall to the government as regards this conversation, these issues when it comes to oil spills, destroying communities? Where exactly can we fault the government?
Right now, and even before now, we have seen several efforts by the government, the federal government, to clean up Niger Delta. You understand? And a lot of resources have been allocated to that to get that done. But the problem we are having is just like every other problem. In paper, you see all these things and very beautiful, but they are not getting to the grassroots. The people in the community are not feeling, the outcome. And that is why, honestly, we just have to practice true federalism. Let us take the larger part of the resources to the community. We should stop calling federal government there. People should benefit directly from what they are producing. If you are not producing, don't eat from it. If you are eating from it, you should eat remnants. So that you have local governments, you have local area, you have communities that are not contributing significantly to the economy, and they are also clamoring because everybody is expecting for change anyway. In case of Nigeria, it's just like a question. I remember we used to be asked that we are usually asked in our secondary school the first time you enter an economic class. The teacher will likely ask you, like I was asked then, that what will happen when everything is free? Imagine everything is given to you and you are not. What is happening now is what will happen when we have community that know that if they are not contributing, they are not getting.
Don't get anything.
You understand? You see how effective, how the kind of turnout we have in this country. So I would just suggest that honestly, instead of having all this insult, lamba, condemning somebody's health and that is not the issue. Let us start hearing policies. Let us know this is how we get it wrong. What we are interested in is somebody is young, somebody is this, but is anybody promising us something? And are they giving us deadline? If you enter now, what are you going to do? Oh, I am going to
do it.
And now you are going to do it. I am going to make sure that power is restored back to the community. We hold that. Now, when anybody emerges now, we start fighting another endless circles of 4 years because we are not tackling the policy.
And we're not asking the right
question. We are not asking the right question. If somebody is picking a candidate now, you go on social media, you see somebody, they will just talk. Now ask them, please, this person, why are you following this person? And it is because the person, sorry, let me just, pardon me, it's just because the person is not PDP, the person is not APC. I want something new. Something new how? So this is what, in fact, sometimes I just wish it turned out the way some people want it to turn out. Then you see that because I don't want us to even end in a place that it will go beyond law. You understand? Right. So the question should be, let us tackle what it is. Now, if we can have a person that is promising us that they can return, you understand, give more power to the state, more powers to the local government, and our local government is not, as rendered useless as they are now, then in this case, it's just going to be the issue of the community approaching the complaint. Look at what we have done. You understand? Look at what you have done. If you are not doing this, we are going to revoke your license. But the person that is giving the license may not even step his leg, you understand? In the community.
So he doesn't really know what they go through as
they are not feeling what is going on. So let those people who are really, you understand, the people feeling the direct effect of what is going on, let them be in charge of decision making.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Suleiman. Let's quickly take a couple of contributions on the show. 091-3655-6952. Let us know your thoughts on the issues discussed this morning. Don't forget, the first story is on the harsh realities, the hardship being faced by Nigerians due to the CBN policy of redesign of Naira notes. Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning, Dr. Zip from School.
Good to have you on the show, Dr. Zip. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, the hardship is actually man-made, and we have leaders who does not care, and we cannot bring the policy on not timely, because when persons we talk about certain things in Nigeria, we are not affected. Thereby, we are actually facing the same problem. Because if you look at it, what is going on now, it is only somebody who is living in heaven that we say he doesn't know what is going on. But you see, despite that, we see the glorifying suffering as if it is normal to suffer and die. It's not good. So we don't suffer too much. So we don't want it. That policy is bad. If you change it, you don't need it now. And lastly, I want to just say that when it comes to leaders, we are not talking of, say, APC and PDP alone. We don't want even anybody that has been in the two parties before. But they have ruined this Nigeria. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Zil. 09136556952. That is the number to call. This word here says, this is from Kolade Ayinde. He says, what have they been doing for the past 23 years? Government should sell the refineries. Repair of the refineries are a waste of scarce resources. All right. That's your opinion right there. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, Mr. Issa from Benidire.
All right, Mr. Issa, in 1 minute, please. All right.
I just want to ask Dr. Suleiman a question. We were discussing about our refineries working. There was a time somebody was invited to that studio from some time ago, and he was saying that if a refinery is working, the price of fuel will still reflect the global price. And it will still reflect the global price. Now, what do you say to that? In most cases, things that are done in Nigeria are trying to cause more cost.
All right, thank you. I would allow my guest to attend to that.
I want to try to understand the question. That I think what
he said, someone once said on this in this studio that if the refineries start working and we start producing here, the price or that we sell fuel in the market will reflect the global prices that they also sell. And we know that in the global market, fuel is quite expensive, so it will also affect how much we sell here in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. I think. I bet to disagree a little bit. Yes, I know there is an organization in charge of fuel. You understand how much you produce, the export, the import. So you understand. But if you understand, as a country, if you are producing our fuel, like I mentioned, if we can actually do away with the profit, you understand, and make sure life is easy for the masses.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. 09136556952. That is the number to call. Hello. All right, do call us back. 09136556952. Let's take one last call before we wrap up on the show. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Abdul Salam Oneguguru from Kangile.
All right, Mr. Absalam, go ahead, please.
My little contribution this morning is for renovation of the refinery.
Refineries, yes.
Located at the Kaduna, what's they call that state. So why this government going to 8 years now? They didn't ever mention if they will renew the refinery. On going to on administration, they are starting to refinery. Is a practically turning of money in this country. Because if not because of that one, they will not do the good things at the right time. Because what is the time they are used to renovation of that final?
All right, so you're saying this is wrong timing. All right. He left the call already. But he's saying that this is wrong timing. That why now?
Apart from the fact that it's wrong timing, if anybody carefully notice what is happening right now in Nigeria, it's as if the present administration care not about whoever becomes the president. And when this happens, it is even obviously working against his own party. So when you see this insulation in social media that is as if some people are working against their party, honestly, it's obvious. Look at the hardship, look at all this contract. It's as if some people are already practically inputting their retirement plans in projects. You understand? Trying to probably, amass wealth even after they leave office. I'm not talking about the president directly, but all every evidence is, is showing that what we are expressing now is not like ever before. Before you see the end of government like this, things are usually juicy. Because even the person, when if not even contesting, will try to make things easy for whoever is coming behind him. But for the first time, we are seeing that there are elements that are even working against the party.
Dr. Tosin, we need to go now. Thank you so much. I wish we could just extend the time and have this conversation and talk more about it. But hey, time is fast spent and we really need to go. Thank you so much, Dr. Hafiz Tosin Suleiman, for coming on the show this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, and it's a wrap on the Diamond Breakfast Show this morning. My name is Bisola Oduwole Suleiman. Do ensure that you have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Do not let the stress and the hustle affect you so much this weekend. Just ensure that you take things easy. Calm down. All will be well. All right, have a wonderful rest of the day.